Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Married at First Sight, Season 18, Episode 6.
Oh my goodness. I was not expecting so many microaggressions from a black person this episode. You ready, Blair?
I'm ready.
Subscribe. I need y'all to subscribe. Like. I need y'all to like the video. Comment. I need y'all to comment because I like what y'all think. And share it. Don't be selfish. Don't be greedy. Let it go.
Okay.
You ready, Blair?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
David and Juan went to the sauna. They did an ice bath at the spa, walking on rocks. David really enjoyed it. And Juan said that he saw David had tension, and it was cool to see the tension go away. They really had a nice, just kind of bro day.
Michelle left?
Michelle? No, she's still there.
The tension didn't go away. The tension is still up in the room. You get what I'm saying? Holding on to the bed. You get what I'm saying? Let's keep going.
Mem and Ikechi, what's his name? Ikechi arranged some drinks on the balcony, and Mem talks about how they do have intimacy, and he is caring, and he creates safe spaces for her. He says that he wants her to be better than how he got her, and he asks her what brings her joy. And Mem says the growth of her business does, and Ikechi says that he is very excited to meet his niece. He has been in Chicago by himself, and he looks forward to spending more time with his family. He does want children. He even broke up with somebody because they didn't want children, and he asked her if she wants children herself. And Mem is open to having children with her partner. Ikechi is willing to hear her and adjust so she can see that he is here for the ride. MM says that, the smooth sailing cannot last forever. It's inevitable that we're going to have issues. Ikechi believes that they can get over anything if they choose to.
I have a question. Blair, in your own words, and what is intimacy?
Intimacy is a lot of things. It could be emotional. It could be physical. I think there's those two.
No, so if I say we have intimacy, is this something that just pops up like magic?
No, it's something that you work on and are intentional about.
We are 6 episodes in, right? Do we see intimacy between MM and Ikechi?
The thing is, I see where they're coming from.
Oh, please show me, because I'm lost.
Because if I'm looking at MM and Ikechi, and she shared certain things about her family and how she wasn't very vulnerable growing up, and how like her family didn't do the I love yous and all those things. And, her father passed away. So I think that she has found a safe space with Ikechi to be more vulnerable and open. And I think that's the intimacy that they're talking about. Well,
guess what? I'm still in the dark.
Okay.
Because I don't see it. Because every time there's a chance to prove intimacy with these two, it's like they don't do it, or they don't choose to show it, because I believe he don't like her, right? She's over there. I remember last episode, the women was all together, and she said, you know what? We don't need to do all that kissing. You get what I'm saying? Because we already there. We don't got to do all that touching because we already there. What do you mean? Like, I'm not saying that y'all need to be like basically just touching each other all the time or kissing each other all the time, but using those as quote unquote reasons of like, oh yeah, we there and we don't have to do it so early on in the marriage on the honeymoon stage. I'm like, no, if someone was really into you, physically into you as a man would be, he would want to touch you. He would want to kiss you. He would want to hold your hand. You get what I'm saying? But it just feels like they are talking about their relationship as if they are like third person.
Okay.
As if they're not in the relationship and actually doing the stuff that's in the relationship that they speaking of. So they saying we do have intimacy, but I don't see no intimacy.
Not the physical kind.
No. And truth be told, I don't even see the emotional stuff. Maybe because MM was so, what's the word? Lacking in the like I love you and the touch expressive stuff that like it just seems like, oh, maybe it's intimacy, but she was in the negatives in that. Now she's back at 0. To me, it's giving homie.
I don't know. I just think that they feel like they have a connection. And
I don't see it.
And I get what you mean that you don't see it, but I will say I think this episode I saw a little bit more of a connection than I've seen in the past.
Okay.
I will say that.
Okay.
Now we move on to Camille and Thomas. They take a salsa class. Thomas wants to impress her, not come across as a goofball, so he's trying to get the steps right, but he's messing up here and there. Camille is just happy that he's trying.
Okay. Listen here. I'm good at salsa.
You actually are good at salsa.
That's all. That's all I have to add to that.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Michelle and David.
Hello, Michelle.
Michelle is having a hard time with the fact that this isn't the husband that she pictured.
Okay.
She says that she needs to try to start enjoying the time she has here, and she doesn't want to keep fighting him. They just need to try to keep it casual. David asks if there's anything that he can do to help with the marriage. He knows now not to talk at or over her.
Or to her. You know what I'm saying?
Michelle says that it's just hard for her to let people in and also for her to ask for help.
Yeah.
He asks her what positive she has experienced since being on the honeymoon. Yeah, the honeymoon.
Yeah.
And Michelle says that we're slowly getting to learn each other. Their communication styles are different. She's taking very tiny steps, but she still believes that she's taking steps. They just need to work out the kinks and have fun. So they go paddle boarding, and she actually enjoyed herself for once.
And this is the problem that I have with this scene, and also a problem that I have with everybody's opinion about what she should do with David. It's already been settled that she does not like David.
Correct.
It's already been settled that she will not like David. You get what I'm saying? So if y'all follow us, we also do the after party, right? One thing David told us is that when the cameras are not shooting, they are not talking. They're not even in the same room, right? So a lot of people, even Keisha said it in the after party, why don't she just be nice and just like learn to like you? And I'm just like, I think that's easy to say when you're not in the situation. Michelle has dug herself in such a hole and already came to a conclusion about David that basically what she said, and basically you know what? I've been too hard on myself, and I just need to have fun and just do something. No, what happened was you almost jumped off that boat because you wanted to leave, and production had to come in and talk to you and tell you, hey, you need to shoot something. We need to have some scenes with you and David, right? Because we're about to leave the next day and things of that nature. So all this fake effort that she's doing, all this fake effort that she calls herself, you know what? I'm just gonna have a casual time, and I guess let's go paddleboarding. No, let's not go on a kayak. I don't want to be on the same boat. You get what I'm saying? You be on your own boat, I'll be on my own boat, and let's try not to fall in the same body of water because I don't want to be near you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What is your thoughts on this scene, Blair?
My thoughts, I didn't think about the production aspect of it, but I can see how that might be something that turned her attitude around, because her attitude was not turning around for nothing the whole trip.
It wasn't.
So yeah, maybe it was some external sources that got her to be pleasant. Moving on to Karla and Juan.
Okay.
They have dinner together. They get a little dance in before sitting down. He had a special day with David, and he hates to see him emotionally beat up. He explains what they did at the spa and how it really helped David.
Okay.
Karla shares that she took a lot of time to herself today. She feels like she's been absorbing other people's energy, and it's actually been kind of negative, feeling like pressure in a way.
Okay.
So she needed to unwind. Juan tells her that he forgot she was even there because he was just in the moment, living it up, having a great time with David today.
I don't understand that.
And Karla makes a face of what? Juan asks if there's anything that he can do as far as their relationship. Karla doesn't want to have to ask for these things. She just wants it to come naturally.
Okay.
Karla asks what he likes in a relationship. Juan doesn't think people should take things so seriously.
What is your thoughts on this scene? This scene was kind of weird to me.
First off, I want to say, Juan, don't talk about you forgot about your wife on a honeymoon when you guys are on a honeymoon. The whole reason y'all are there is because y'all got married.
Whole time.
So let's start off by, let's just not say that you forgot about your wife in any type of way.
Yeah.
But I do want to say that going from single to married, not even dating, it probably is just kind of like a mind F or whatever the case may be of, I've got this other person to think about. Like, I'm used to just going about my day and just moving in the moment and doing whatever. And he probably felt like he was in his old single self because Karla was nowhere to be seen. So I could see where he was coming from when he said it, but it was unnecessary to say. And the other thing is, I don't like Karla's responses to Juan.
How so?
He asked her, is there anything he can do in the relationship? She was clearly irritated with what he said.
I mean,
yes. She didn't address what he said. And then he asked her that question specifically. She says she just wants things to come naturally. He doesn't know you, Karla. He does not know you at all. So please give him some guidance on what it is that you would like for him to do so he knows how to work and make this relationship work. I mean, the thing is, everyone says marriage is work, but you do kind of got to give your partner a little bit of a cheat sheet on the work that they should be doing. Otherwise, what they're doing is going to be ineffective for you. Mm-hmm. So I found Karla to be annoying with the vagueness and the indirectness when clearly she was irritated.
Yeah. I don't know what angle Juan is coming from with this conversation.
I think he was just in his single mind, honestly. You don't think so? You think it's deeper?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Juan is testing her temperature. Mm-hmm. Because to say that you had a good time with David, cool. Just the second time you brought up David now. You get what I'm saying? David ain't that fun. Okay? You know what I mean? Mind you, you didn't come here to be, this ain't Big Brother. This ain't what is it? This ain't Jersey Shore. You get what I'm saying? This is Married at First Sight. So you came here with the intention to get married, to learn your new wife and things of that nature. So for him to say, I was living it up so much that I forgot about you, I'm like, wait a minute now, right? With the person that you know so far in the days that you've been there with Karla, you knew that wasn't going to fly. Mm-hmm. Like you just had to. And then, in my opinion, in this scene, I do feel like she had a right to feel some type of way, because she's like, for one, that's a weird thing to say to me. Number two, who is David? You get what I'm saying? Like David have so much like rank over me so far. And then when obviously she feels some type of way, he's over there talking about some like, you know, like, don't take yourself so seriously. It's like, no, I think he made her mad purposely, and I can't prove it. Right. But I don't see how it's natural for you to say, I had such a fun time with David that I forgot you was here. That's just not even natural to say. Like, because David is not even a best friend of yours. It's one thing if it was a friend of mine that I grew up with or something like that, and I'm like, man, I'm having a good time with like my group, my core. But this is, you met David after you met her. So it makes no sense, at least from my perspective. Maybe somebody could teach me in the comments, or maybe you are right, but I think he was being, he was provoking her.
But I think that's because your sentiment or your mentality is that people always know what they're doing.
I do feel like that.
And you always think that people are intentional with the things they say and they do.
Yes.
And unfortunately, that's not always the case. I know you don't believe it.
No, I don't.
But sometimes people just say things and do things and then think back to it, and they have to apologize because they were talking out the side of their neck. You know? But you don't believe it.
I'm about to say, what do
that never happens?
I'm just saying, for someone as intentional as Juan, right?
Yeah.
Who knows the price of carrot juice, right? Okay. Who knows how much money leaves his bank account and things like that. Who knows that, I can't even go out to dinner. I can't go on vacations with you because I'm an entrepreneur, right? And I'm building this app and I have all these employees and investors and things like that. You don't know that you have a wife, and saying that I forgot that you was here on your honeymoon would offend her? Nah, you was intentional. Okay. You was trying to provoke that girl, but I can't prove it. So guess what? I'm gonna let you go.
Okay.
I'm gonna get your bail to get you out of jail this time. You feel what I'm saying?
All right. Thomas asked Camille if she wants to pick out his outfit, and he tells her that he's going to wear the gray.
Okay.
And he's going to wear his special undies.
Okay.
She says the lingerie does need to make its appearance, but she's still warming up.
Okay, listen, don't tease me, please me.
Camille says that they've had a lot of good moments, good talks, and she's still trying to figure out how they vibe physically. He's more suburban than the guys she's dated in the past. The other guys are kind of more like city R&B smoothness, and Thomas doesn't quite have that.
What are you trying to say, Camille? No, really. What are you trying to say? He's more suburban, and the guys you used to, or the guys you're used to dating, gets more city. What is your thoughts on that? What do you think she's trying to say?
I think that she usually likes dating guys with a little bit more of an edge, a little bit more urban. I think that's what she's used to, and maybe men who are a bit more assertive and will kind of like if they want her, they tell her, they take her type of situation. And Thomas is very much like walking on eggshells around her and a little bit nervous and wants to impress her and all these types of things. So I get what she's saying, that she wants somebody maybe a little less square, or she's used to dating people who are a little less square when it comes to their personality. I'm not going to burn Camille on the stake for having that feeling, honestly.
Oh, I mean, okay.
I mean, it takes a while. Like I keep saying, these people are thrown into these marriages with people who they probably wouldn't have chose, who have different personalities and different looks than probably what they're used to or used to being attracted to.
You're right.
It's one thing to date out of your comfort zone and get acclimated to dating different people. And there's another thing to be around this person 24/7 and trying to get used to this thing that you typically wouldn't like. You know, so I will say that I think Camille is doing a good job of trying to learn Thomas for who he is and not allowing that to turn her off from him completely. But in a way, I think that is hindering their physicality, because he's not doing it for her as far as the heat and the fire, you know, as far as that chemistry that she's used to getting, because it looks different. But I'm hoping that she can kind of develop that feeling for Thomas, because he seems like he really does care for her. And there's a way to have that type of chemistry and love, even though it's not the sparks flying. It can be a safe kind of warm love feeling. If I'm explaining that well.
I believe you are right. Hard stop.
Okay.
I don't want to mix what I'm about to say with you are right. Hard stop, right? But the key words that she said was suburban and city, right? And if you don't know, I'm a city boy and Blair is not, right?
I'm suburban.
So there is keywords that stuck out to me because I heard it all through me growing up and things like that, right? First of all, let's address your point about Thomas being a square, right? So is Camille. Camille's a square. You get what I'm saying? Over here with the lingerie need to make an appearance one of these days. Listen here, don't tease me, please me.
Obviously, do it or don't.
Obviously, you have no way or like no know-how of how to introduce it. You get what I'm saying? Here's the thing about it. To your point, this is a new experience for everybody, right? Correct. So it makes sense for him to be nervous around this stranger, right? Yes. It makes sense for him to be timid around this stranger. You just said a segment or two ago that, hey, when it comes to knowing how to please or even know how to talk, you may need to give him a cheat sheet and things of that nature, because we don't know each other.
Right.
Guess what? She can say that without saying, he's suburban and you know what? I'm into city guys. What do that mean? Now, don't make me pull out my dashiki from under this table, right?
Okay.
Now, that's one of the things that I make sure I keep under the table to make sure that there's no microaggressions going against the brethren. You get what I'm saying? But it just seems like she is, and we gonna see more of this that basically confirmed it for me. She just seems like, you know, hey, especially when she said, hold on, what is the thing she said? She said like he's not like that smooth R&B guy.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? What do you mean? You get what I'm saying? It's almost like she's like the person, and I understand this now. There are some black people, right, who cannot quote Martin, right? And black people will look at you and be like, you can't quote Martin? You get what I'm saying? Like, you can't quote Martin, but that doesn't mean she doesn't have her repertoire of black shows. You know, she watched Girlfriend. See what I mean? Suburban. You get what I'm saying? Right? But there's other shows or other things that kind of make you go like, okay, you of the culture. You watch Martin. You watch A Different World. You get what I'm saying? You part of this. You straight know the Sound of Blackness song from front to back and things like that. Like, so it just feels like she's like, you're kind of like, it's more than, to me, it sounds like it's more than you're just a square. It's more like you ain't got no flavor. You get what I'm saying? But Camille, you ain't got no flavor either. Okay. I don't see it. You get what I'm saying? I'm not tasting it. Okay. So maybe down the line, maybe later on the season, maybe we both will see it from them and things of that nature, you know?
Maybe.
Let's keep going.
Karla says that Juan forgot about her Juan told her that he forgot about her during their date.
Yeah.
So she decided to forget about him today. She said that she would meet him at breakfast. He went out for a swim.
Yeah.
He apparently had some extra clothes that he needed to put in a bag, and he had to figure out a situation to change of clothes because she forgot about him. Karla's message is, don't forget about Karla.
Hey, Karla, if think of a real like punishment besides this and let it go.
Yeah.
Like it's already done. He done forgot about you. You get what I'm saying? Did you have anything to add to this?
Yeah, this really turned me off.
Help
me.
Me.
It really struck a chord with me. Because unlike you, I don't feel like what Juan said was intentional to hurt her. I felt like he was just in his single mindset and just talking as if he was talking to a friend, not realizing that he's talking to his wife, and that's wild to say. And he even asked her during the conversation, what could I do? What can I do to make you feel better? One thing she could have said is, don't say you forgot about me. You know, I'm like, Karla can do a lot better at using her words, because I think Karla is good at her words when she wants to be.
That is true.
And I'm not a fan of the passive aggressive way of handling things. Like, I think that it's so just underhanded and sneaky and nasty.
Yeah.
And it's really not an avenue of trying to come to an understanding. You're not trying to have him see where you're coming from, of how he hurt you or how you guys can improve so that the relationship can get stronger. It's a way of tearing down the relationship brick by brick.
That's fair.
And I feel like it's going to create issues of like insecurity and uncertainty when it comes to the relationship, and even situations to where you might not being passive aggressive, but because he knows you can be so petty, I mean, it could create feelings of paranoia.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, you're inserting something into the relationship that doesn't even need to be there. I feel that way about passive aggression and sarcasm.
Oh yeah, she don't like sarcasm.
Yeah, don't act and say things that you don't mean. Like, say what you mean and mean what you say.
Yeah, I'm fluent in sarcasm now. Like I said, I gave him bail. I'm not gonna retry him and things like that. But even though his intention may not have been to offend his wife, it definitely wasn't to make her feel good.
Okay.
So, and I think you are 100% right when it comes to passive aggressiveness when it comes to Karla. But I think Juan is passive aggressive too.
Okay.
And sometimes you can read between the lines. I can't prove it, but I'm gonna throw it out there. Maybe he was saying, I had such a great time with David that I would love to have a great time with you, that I don't forget about you. But I had such a great time with David that I forgot about you. My whole thing is, it didn't have to be said.
Right.
And I'm like, at Juan's big age, he should know not to say that.
Well,
but
how do you feel like Karla handled it? What were your thoughts on that?
No, I straight went first. I said, unless you actually give like actual real payback, this ain't real payback. Forgetting about a bag of clothes and things like that, like that's nothing. Like if you go make him feel it, make him feel it. You
so
get
you're
what I'm
saying
saying?
she should have done something worse?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, seriously, because like he went to the pool.
Not communicate. Do something worse.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because my whole thing is, if you're not gonna let it go, I'm the type to where I'm gonna let it go. But she didn't. But instead, she decided, you know what? You had to go ask for a bag for your wet clothes. That shows you not to forget about Karla. No. If you go play the payback game, play it to its full like intention. Like, you know, forget about him for like dinner. Forget about him and hang out with somebody. Like, but my whole thing is, I wouldn't have did that. But I'm just like, this little payback thing was nothing. And my thing is, if you go do something as petty as this, you might as well let it go because your payback game ain't good. You know what I mean?
Well, how do you think that impacts a relationship?
Right now, it's too early to tell.
For them? Okay.
Yeah, it's too early. It's like right now it's just petty wars. It means nothing right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Alan and Madison have a date in the jungle.
Yeah.
They are going to do a ritual. I said to myself, so he got to get magic to get this girl to like him.
Pretty much.
That's crazy.
Pretty much.
They have the spirit guys there teaching them how to connect with each other, putting their hands over each other's heart, cleaning their body, pouring water over each other. The lady shakes the maraca, sings around them. Madison thought it was nice that they pushed the physical boundary a bit by actually like touching each other.
Yeah.
They then clear their thoughts with some deep breathing. The woman tells Madison that she needs to connect more and speak more. Alan needs to get out of his head.
Speak less,
Alan. They spray some medicine in his mouth, and Alan is about to say something, and the lady tells him to hush, experience it. You don't need to try to explain it.
Listen here, y'all must be very trusting. Because listen here, city or suburban, we ain't let nobody spray nothing in our mouth.
Nothing in my mouth.
Overseas, I don't care where. I don't care which part of
I don't know
the
what
town
that
from.
is.
Get out my face, okay? Listen here, Madison is just going along as she's faking. She faking for the views right now. She faking for the TV. We know how Madison feels about Alan. Alan knows how Madison feels about Alan and things like that. And like I said, as we go see at the end of the episode, she can fake for as much as she wants until she get back home.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? To me, it was nothing in the scene that really added anything to their relationship because we already know where she stands with him. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Michelle and David take a sushi making class.
Yes.
David doesn't usually do raw fish, but he's stepping out of his comfort zone.
Me neither. I don't think we ever had sushi. You always have sushi.
I always have sushi.
I never had sushi with you.
Yeah. You should. It's actually pretty good.
Okay.
Michelle thinks that he's doing a good job. He is trying.
Okay.
She asks if he normally cusses a lot because she notices, and she asks if he can reel it in a little bit.
Yeah.
And David says, yeah, all you got to do is let me know. I can pivot. I can make adjustments. That's something easy.
That's fair.
Michelle shares that when she was growing up, she lived next to her grandmother, and I think she said all of her grandparents have passed away at this time.
Yeah.
And they actually have a nice outing, and David got to learn a little bit more about Michelle. She finally opened up just a teeny bit.
Question. Did you feel like she was wrong to ask him about the cussing? Help me.
Yes.
Help me.
I think that she needs to spend a little bit of time getting to know him instead of critiquing him. I don't think she knows him well enough to tell him what to and what not to do.
Yeah.
I think it comes across a little controlling and nitpicky.
Facts.
And the thing is, I can see Michelle trying to, at least in these scenes, trying to make David into something that she would be attracted to. But you don't tell somebody, don't do this, you need to try sushi and all these types of things just so they can fit the mold of the imaginary person you have in your head. If Dave is a cusser, you need to know and learn that David's a cusser.
Yeah.
Okay? If David doesn't like sushi and he's trying this out for you, that's cool, but don't take him to no sushi after this. So I think Michelle isn't giving him enough space to be himself and fully and in totality. And maybe as you get to know each other, you can tell him okay, all that cussing, it kind of grinds my gears a little bit. And I think he'll be, even though he was receptive to it, I think that he'll be more receptive to it and not thinking that you're just being an a-hole.
Yeah. Because
you've grown to like each other in enough ways that you can kind of point out certain things that you would like to shift. So
I think you hit the nail right on the head. And can I add to your analysis?
Yes.
To me personally, David do cuss a lot. I'm not really a fan of anybody who cuss a lot because I'm like, hey, there's so many other words in the dictionary, right? And because David comes off as immature, at least to me, right? Cussing do come off as a little immature when you're at that big age, when you're cussing for expression for no reason. Right. It just feel like he just cussing just to cuss because I could and I can. Right. The reason why I agree with what you said 100% is because, well, first of all, let me critique David a little bit more too. Okay. David, stop laying yourself at the altar of Michelle and basically being open to critiques. You get what I'm saying? Because he's going about it okay, I do it. Okay, I do it. How many things you have to do to basically get her to like you? Basically, you have to stop cussing and things of that nature. You have to make sure you don't sleep in the bed. Oh, don't talk to me. Don't talk me. Don't talk over me. Don't talk. You get what I'm saying? Don't be in the same room.
Leave me alone.
And you keep putting yourself up in these positions to where she can only tell you about you. Right? Now, here's where I do not disagree, even though I do agree that he do cuss a lot and he need to reel it in. The reason why I do not agree with Michelle in this scene is because she's saying that to David as if he does that go get her to like him. Right.
It's not going to change anything. No. So why are you picking at him?
And that's what I'm saying. Like, the whole point is Michelle is never going to like David. Like that's the whole point. They are having sushi class because guess what? Excuse me, my name is Amy. I am the producer of Married at First Sight. We have these classes and activities for you, and we have sushi class for y'all. You need to go to sushi class. You get what I'm saying? So my whole thing is, hey, when you having this one-on-one thing, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to have this one-on-one thing for us, for yourself. But all this time, the reason why I would have accepted Michelle a little bit better with her critiques is if she started by saying, you know what, David? I apologize for how I've been the past couple days. We have not seen it at all this episode. We halfway through like the episode now. No. You get what I'm saying? At no point did she say, you know what? I've been an a-hole this whole time. I did not give us a chance. You know what? Tonight you have the bed. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? like basically something to show that she is sorry for how she's been acting. But so far, she just been like, let me enjoy the last day of this honeymoon for like myself. Not for David, not even for her marriage. So that's why I have a problem with her critique of David, because her critiques in David's mind is probably like, if I do this, she will get to like me. But only thing, it just gonna be one long receipt of critiques that's not gonna change her mind about you. You
exactly.
Know what I'm saying?
Karla and Juan go to a cenote. They are having a photo shoot. Karla is still a bit upset and is waiting for Juan to apologize.
Okay.
Juan can see in her face that she's not feeling this, but the cameras are helping them to kind of get the tension away. They're touching, they're kissing. All of that is helping to reset the vibe. They have a hard time trying to do an underwater shot, but they end up getting it.
Yeah.
Juan noticed that she was frustrated, and Karla appreciated that he noticed and tried to work with her. She felt comforted by that.
This is why the cheat sheet comes into play, where Blair's right, to where it's like, don't be passive aggressive with your feelings now. Like, if you angry, say you frustrated about it. Don't have him be a psychic and things of that nature when it comes to how you feel about how he offended you, because I do feel like he offended her in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's my point too. I don't think she shouldn't feel offended. If she's offended, be offended, but don't be going around playing petty games and trying to drag the situation out for a whole nother day. Like, it's unnecessary.
You're right.
Emem and Akechi have dinner.
Help me.
He asks her how she likes to be loved. She likes affection, hand holding, being reaffirmed. And so far, she feels good with what she's been receiving.
Stop right there. Because I'm about to get into you. Have we seen them hold hands?
Yeah. But only when they first got there is when they were all over each other.
Have we seen him affirm her?
Not that I've noticed.
So what is this intimacy and things of this? Like that's what I'm saying. They are talking about themselves as if they are not themselves, right? I even give you an example of last episode, right? Something that I know that you personally don't like. When someone tell you something verbatim, I don't like this, that's not your opportunity or chance to be like, well, you know, that's not what I meant.
Yeah, no, that wasn't cool with the homie comment.
Right?
He should have just apologized.
She said
everybody else was feeling it. But what that got to do with me?
Reaffirm her.
Exactly.
Intimacy, something. You get what I'm saying? But my whole point is he's like, it's fake. You get what I'm saying? And my whole thing is, I don't know who to blame yet. Truth be told, right? I don't know if I should blame. Well, number one, I do blame Akechi, number one. But I'm like, I don't know if I should blame you too, that you should share a little blame too, because you're the one going around telling everybody that y'all are at the peak of y'all intimacy and y'all doing all this stuff and y'all don't need to do all this stuff to prove that y'all got it, because y'all got it. You get what I'm saying? Y'all sound like, you know, breakdance partners and things of that nature. Just best of friends. And my whole thing is, we are not seeing this intimacy that y'all are telling us that y'all have.
I will agree with you there. We're not. But the thing is, like, it's hard for me to say whether or not she feels intimacy, because it's about how she feels in that space with her partner.
That's
you know
true.
what I mean? Like, I can say I don't see the physical part, but if she feels connected, then that's real too, is it not?
I guess. I mean, to her, I call her a liar.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Yeah. I've been calling adults a liar since 99.
Yeah.
Right? But like, my whole point is like I think the only reason why she feels is like, it's one of those things to where I give you a perfect example, right? The past couple of weeks, my wife been sick, right? And I've been trying to avoid her in this place since she's been sick. I don't like being sick, right? So before I actually got sick, right, because I did get sick, I was like, my mom was playing tricks on me. Like, so when I would cough, I'd be like, am I sick? right.
Yeah.
Or like when I sneeze, I'd be like, am I sick? Right. MM when she was getting married, she was already like, my man, my man, my man. My husband, my husband, my husband. This is my husband. You get what I'm saying? She was already in it. You get what I'm saying? So because she's so convicted in her decision and being a wife and like Akechi being a husband, she might feel like she's already at the mountaintop. But whole time you haven't started climbing yet. At the time for him to affirm you as his wife, and when you was telling him your grievance of, am I the homie? Like I don't like homie, and he's like, well, what's the other option? Do you want to be the op? And I'm just like, well, that don't sound reaffirming.
Right.
That don't sound like intimacy to me. That don't sound like two people that's loving each other and things of that nature. But instead, I think y'all talking about so much about what y'all want to be instead of being the example of just being. Be in love besides talking about love, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. So he asked if she has been in love, and she has with her ex-fiance. Ikechi says that he has been in love, but after that failed engagement, he didn't know if he could ever be in love again. Okay. He doesn't know what it takes to get back there to that feeling, but he knows that he can, and he's open to the opportunity. Okay. He asks if she's seen great examples of love in her life, and she tells him no. She just wants something that's unique to her and her partner.
That's fair.
Ikechi talks about the love between his brother and sister-in-law, and they just have so much joy in their household. People just want to be around them and in their presence.
Yeah.
And Mem shares that, she hosts a lot, so she can kind of relate to, people just wanted to be in her space. Ikechi says that his feelings are growing pretty quickly when it comes to MM.
And maybe I need to fall back, right? I'm only going to fall back a little bit because I'm going to press. But maybe I need to fall back because she says she hasn't seen great examples of it, right? So she's learning while doing. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So I give a little bail. I gave Juan and MM bail.
Yeah.
I give them bail to get them out of jail this episode. But episode 7, I'm going to press.
And my thing is, I'm being easy on Ikechi this episode because he didn't say nothing very performative. I felt like he was just talking regular, trying to get to know her, sharing experiences. Yeah. And that's all, I was wanting to see, and not all these doggone quotables.
Oh, yeah. So, but that don't mean we fans of Ikechi, though.
Yeah. I'm just saying he did all right.
You was okay. Mm-hmm. Right?
Thomas is outside.
He's outside.
He and Camille have been having deeper talks, and she shared that he's not the typical guy that she's into. She seems to have more of the black culture side influence than he does. He has heard that before. Normally, he wouldn't take it personally, but this time he did. He does care about her, and he thinks he might be being too much into his feelings.
Scroll back up to that. Another microaggression, right? Now, at first, she hit it by saying, Suburban is city. And now she just flat out said, hey, I'm blacker than you, right? I have more black culture.
We don't know how she said it.
Look, my whole thing is, tell me how the conversation would have to go, right? To where she have to volunteer the information to me that I'm not the guy. See, that's the thing I don't understand about these girls on this show, right? When you sign up for this show, you forfeit the guys that you are typically into.
Yeah.
Right? So please, I would like to know how the conversation will go, Camille, to where at the end of it, you tell them you're not the guy that I'm usually into. And when it comes to like blackness and black culture, I have more of it than you do. Like that don't sound like a good conversation to have right there.
No.
That don't sound like a conversation that quote unquote get the lingerie out the bag and things like that. Yeah. So like that's why I'm like, Camille, why are you attacking this man's culture when it comes to blackness, right? As if like I see an unk on you anywhere, right? As if I see coarse hair on you anywhere, as if I see a hair pick in your hair somewhere anywhere, as if I see you with a dashiki anywhere and things like that. Guess what? Y'all look perfectly together.
You guys do look perfectly
so
together.
Like I don't even understand what she's talking about, because truth be told, someone who can be quote unquote your type and things like that can look at you and be like, you ain't the type of girl I'm usually into, because you look like a suburban girl and I'm really into some hood rats. You get what I'm saying? That know Martin. that straight can quote a different world. That straight can sing "Be Optimistic" from front to back by Sounds of Blackness and things like that. That's why I'm like, I don't understand why she is talking to him or even having those type of conversations to where it ends in that result. And truth be told, everything that you just said about how Karla should act, how MM should act, I'm happy Thomas acted this way, basically saying what she said, it hurt my feelings.
Yes.
It hurt my feelings because I care about her and I want her to like me.
Yeah.
Right? Don't take my timidness as a lack of blackness. Don't take my unable to lead in the moment as my lack of culture and things like that. I don't know you. I don't know what you like. I'm not trying to offend you. Now, how did you offend my culture? That's not fair. I don't like that, Camille. I ain't gonna hold you. What is your thoughts?
Yeah. I don't know why I don't feel as passionate about this, but
do you want to hold it, Dashi? Okay.
No, it's not that I don't feel passionate about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had moments of being called an Oreo or, different things like that. Even though I'm very black, HBCU down, all
that
the
is
things.
true.
Even though I'm all these things, people can still look at me, talk to me, and feel like I'm not black enough. So I can empathize with Thomas in that regard of folks just having a judgment of what blackness looks like, sounds like, and should appear to be.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is that there are people who are going to have a certain image in their head of what they think the type of person they want to be with, or if they're dating a black person, like what that experience is like, or the particular type of black guy. And the thing is, like, if I think about like friends I've had in the past or things like that, or even myself at times, is you kind of want somebody with a little more edge. You know what I'm saying? Like you want somebody who has not necessarily like city urban type edge or whatever, but have the swag to them and have that type of essence about themselves. And I don't fault Camille for wanting that, but I do think that at this point in time in her life, she kind of has to grow out of that mentality and see that type, which she understands has not really gotten her anything. Like those people have probably, got it, left, whatever, flipped it, rubbed it, all that type of stuff, and went on to the next one or whatever. So I think she understands that hasn't served her, but I don't think she's come into the awareness that even though he's more of a square than I would typically be attracted to, I want a safe love. I want a comfortable love. I want something I can depend on and somebody who's going to show that they care for me and not be hard with me, and that is going to look different than whatever she is talking about. So I think that she just needs to come to accept Thomas as he is and the type of love that he brings. So.
No, you're right. She's basically, if we go off of your Fresh Prince, she thinks he's Carlton, right? And my opinion on that is, hey, there's no we are having too many conversations of what we are into and what we're not into, right? And people are getting hurt by that, right? And my thing is, Camille, I'm just gonna tell you straight up, you a square. You get what I'm saying? So to have a square call me a square, no, right? So it's like, I don't think you earn the right, even though you are Thomas' wife, to criticize him in this way, right? You didn't give him a chance. Trust me, you don't even know the whole Pandora box of Thomas yet, right? Get home first. like you're on vacation, and I don't think Thomas, who knows you got the lingerie in the trunk, right, wants to hear you're not the guy that I'm typically into. And like you don't have I have more black culture than you.
Well, let me ask a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, you want to finish?
No. Go ahead.
Do you think maybe there are certain conversations they shouldn't be having with them being so new? As far as getting to know each other, like maybe the attraction conversation should be off the table
100%.
Because it seems like that's tripping a lot of people up, but that's clearly something that can grow as you get to know the person. So, and the thing is, I get people want to know, like, are you feeling me? Like, do you want me? And all that type of stuff. Like, that's like your initial thing. But I think going into this, you kind of have to rewire your brain to be like, it kind of doesn't matter if they're attracted to me. We're married and we need to see what we can get from this.
But what you said, I agree. Hard stop.
Okay. What else?
right. No, because I don't want it to get lost in the shuffle that I agree with you.
Okay, I
right?
got you.
I agree with you. Hard stop. But what you said is kind of hard to do because
it's not realistic.
Because if I'm not attracted to you, the other person will feel it, and it would be hard for them to be like, well, that don't matter. We already married. Because guess what? Alan knows that Madison's not attracted to him, right? And guess what? He's like, well, you know what? We still married, but guess what? At the end of the day, he's in the hot tub by himself while she's in the city of Chicago doing whatever she's doing. Yeah. So at the end of the day, Thomas can because this is not the first time she said this. You get what I'm saying? Thomas can know that you're not the guy that you typically go with. Okay, cool. But now it's starting to like, what else? Oh, I just feel like I have more black culture than you. And thinking about it is he heard that before. So now we're having present conversations that can give me past triggers, right? Past triggers that I probably worked over and things of that nature to be like, you know what? I worked over that. Now it took me a while to be comfortable in my blackness and things like that. Blackness comes in different shades. It don't always have to be dark. You get what I'm saying? It don't always have to be city. It don't always have to be HBCUs. You get what I'm saying? It could be Ivy Leagues. It could be PW. We're everywhere. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So my whole thing is to have this type of conversation. I think it leans more on the immature side, right? And that you haven't been outside your boundary of what you believe blackness is and things of that nature. And you're bottom line, put on the lingerie and try your marriage. I'm talking all this stuff just to get to the point. You are talking about all this stuff while you're teasing lingerie, while you're being corny with lingerie. It's like, no, like, why y'all talking about this? Mm-hmm. You already forfeited your right of what you believe that you deserve because you can't get it on your own. You had to get past the cow to get it for you. Yep. So let's just move on. You get what I'm saying? Yep. In conversation, not you. Okay. You get what I'm saying?
And Mem appreciates how Ikechi listens to her. She liked learning how he likes to be loved. And he says that they have to ask the questions and be open to learn the answers. This is as they're getting ready to go to bed. And he asks her to turn the lights out. He turns his back and he gets some shut eye while she big spoons him as he little spoons.
What was do you have any thoughts on this at all?
I think that Mem in the scene was trying to be flirtatious with him.
Come on.
She was trying to do the honey pack. I don't know if that's supposed to be some type of aphrodisiac. The way she was doing it seemed like because she wanted him to take his too. So I was like, is that what that is? I don't know. I don't know. But it seemed like she was trying to be flirtatious and he was not entertaining that at all. And the thing is, I want to say this. Your partner does not always feel it when you feel it.
That's true.
Okay? And it's not a crazy thing for him to be like, I want to go to bed, and her talking about honey packs. It's not a crazy thing. But the fact that this is their honeymoon, this is really their first time being alone. Yeah. She's trying to establish that physical intimacy with him, and he's just not responsive.
What did he physically do?
It just feels like like death on arrival. Like it just gives nothing.
What did he physically do?
He turned his back
to her.
He didn't even like cuddle her or nothing. He was just like, I'm going to bed.
Listen, I've been in a Ketchy's position before, not with a wife and things like that. Years ago, I had girls try to be flirtatious with me and things like that. Try like to flirt with me and try to entice me and things like that. And you know what I said? You the homie. Homies don't do that. Okay. Dude, you get what I'm saying? And that's how he treats her. Yeah. At the time where it's time for y'all to prove y'all intimacy, when it's time for you to hold her and wrap your arms around her and say one of your poems and things of that nature. He play music, sing a song or something like that. Or like just hold a hand.
But honestly, and I'm not trying to put it on but sometimes you do have to tell your partner. That's true. I'm just like, could she have asked him like, hey, can we cuddle? Can we like kind of fall asleep cuddling, that's can we hold each other's hands? And I know that sounds like obvious, especially with the way that she was coming across, but especially if your partner's not really feeling it or like that's not where their mind is at, then sometimes you got to ask for what you want. So
and also when he's not into you or when he don't find you that attractive, he's not going to touch you. Like that's the hard truth. And I don't want to be that person, but like it's not like she reeks of sex appeal. Dude, you get what I'm saying? Like I don't see it, at least for me. Okay. So for she may need to say that. You get what I'm saying? But my whole thing is Akechi, the reason why I'm criticizing him is because he said he is attracted to her. Right. Yeah. And now I'm looking for, as a man to man, you get what I'm saying? Hey, I know what attraction look like when you're into a girl. And I know what a green light looks like when a girl's trying to give you a green light. Why aren't you taking the green light?
And I will say that it is weird that they want to be all over each other around the couples, but when it comes to being in the bed,
come on,
there's none of that.
I almost threw this mic stand
and that is very different. It'd be one way
Facts.
if he just wasn't a touchy-feely person, and she kind of has to coach him to be more affectionate, because some people just aren't wired that way. They kind of have to you kind of gotta guide them in that way too. But he acts one way around the group and acts another way when he's with her, so that's why it stands out
and
too.
That's why it's phony.
Yeah,
that's why it's phony. You hit the nail right on the head. Performing it for everybody else, but when it's just us two, and that's the thing about it, that can trick her.
Yeah,
because that can make her think we're further than we're further along in our intimacy, because in front of everybody you got your hand on my inner thigh and stuff like that. But when we get in the room and I just want you to do stuff with me and things like that, not even do stuff to me, but do stuff with me, you turn your back physically and say, turn off the light. I see you, Akechi. You can't trick me in any of those disguises, brother. I see you. Let's keep going.
Juan is talking about how much he loves David.
Again?
And Karla says, you forgot about me. Juan does not like when people are passive aggressive and don't communicate their feelings.
Stop right there. Is Juan being passive aggressive right now? Is Juan being passive aggressive right now?
Yes.
I rest my case.
Because he knows she's upset.
Because he said David 4 times throughout the whole episode.
I'm only going to speak on this moment because I'm not like you, where I think everything is intentional. In this moment, I think he was being passive aggressive because he could tell she was upset and he didn't ask her what she was upset about. And that's the two sides of a relationship. Karla could say why she's upset and Juan could ask her why. And it's just I know nobody wants to be the first to jump, but somebody has to get the realness out there.
That's fair.
Karla says that she was mirroring him, and Juan tells her, if I say something you don't like, just tell me. Karla says that she will work on it. They move on. They talk about moving in together and learning about how each other lives. Karla likes about 30 minutes to decompress after work, no talking. Juan tells her that might be hard for him. He might think that something is going on with her, and he feels that women just expect guys to understand everything. If you feel like decompressing, just tell me that in the moment.
She did. She literally just told you, this is what I like to do. You see, the thing about Juan is... And
then they also talk about, can I say hi? Can I not look at you?
Juan,
all that stuff.
Juan, stop playing it. Stop acting like you are inept. Stop acting like... See, now you provoking me to anger, right? Stop acting like I don't see you.
Yeah, you don't give people benefit of the doubt.
He just mentioned David again.
Yes.
Did he not?
I heard you.
He mentioned David in the first scene.
Yes.
He mentioned David in the third scene. He mentioned David in the fourth and fifth scene. And he knows that that is why she's mad. But he's he's basically saying, if you ain't gonna say nothing, I'm gonna keep mentioning David. I'm gonna keep mentioning David. And I'm just grow up, right? Also, I have a problem with the decompressing thing only for this reason alone, right? When it comes to decompressing, right, I feel like that works when it's just y'all two. When you have children, then you actually have to be more vocal and intentional with your decompression, right? Meaning that decompression can easily look like, hey, Blair, I'm going for a walk, I'm out. You get what I'm saying? Because it's just us two, right? But when you have children, I have to be more intentional with my partner. I'm going to take a longer shower. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to set the kids up before, just so you ain't by yourself. But I'm going to need 30 minutes, right? I don't have a problem per se what Karla said. I just hope that she is speaking not only for the present but for the future of what happens if you cannot decompress, right? How are you going to be when you're on go at work and then sometimes life happens, you got to be at go as soon as you walk in the house too. You get what I'm saying? Because Juan may be under some pressure, Blair may be under some pressure, I may be under some pressure, and even though I may have left pressure at my job, I got to come and relieve my partner now. I can't come home and think about me. You get what I'm saying? So I'm hoping that she has some more wiggle room and things of that nature when it comes to just decompress and be ready to jump into action when your partner may need you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like when it comes to the decompressing, I totally get it. Shoot, I take a day of decompressing, a day of rest once a week where I just don't go nowhere, don't talk to nobody except for my husband. And for me, I don't need time away from my husband to decompress. Like, he helps relax me. But I do understand if she feels like she needs time alone away from everybody to, just kind of get herself together after a long day of work. That's totally cool.
Yeah.
But I agree. I don't think it should be a hard and fast rule of every day, this is what you need to do. Leave me alone for this amount of time. Mm-hmm. I think that just kind of see how the day is going. If it wasn't that hard of a work day and you get home and you guys want to go out to eat or something like that, then allow it to be what that is. But don't put yourself in such a box that this is what I have to do. Even if you feel like as a single person, like that's what you're used to doing, like allow for change to happen, That's facts. So Camille was being honest about their cultural differences, and she was trying to search for some relatability within Thomas. Okay. Thomas didn't grow up around a lot of black kids, and kids would pick at him for not being black enough. His dad helped teach him to overcome obstacles, and that made him have empathy for people who grew up in different family structures. Yeah. He learned that he doesn't have to prove anything to anybody, and he just needs to be himself.
And I literally just said this in a couple of scenes ago. I said, you don't know what you may say. They may cause past triggers, things that he may have fought to get over. And now when him getting over his obstacles, he learned to have empathy for people who not like him. Yeah. Even though he been around white folks and black folks and things of that nature. But you, on the other hand, you just trying to find some relatability. Well, you don't find relatability by saying what you're more of than like somebody else.
Or what they're not.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. You find relatability by finding relatability. Right. You get what I'm saying? Hey, we both on Married at First Sight. Look at us. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So like, I'm going to put the dashiki away for now. You get what I'm saying? But it's always close by.
All the couples get together. David says the last couple of days have been progressive.
Stop lying to us, David.
Thomas says that he's learning that they have some differences. Yeah. But Camille talks about how they share their core values. Her biggest struggle is matching on other layers, not just physical. Okay. Madison talks about Alan's veggie pants, and they have been an adjustment for her. Mm-hmm. She wants to give him a chance in the real world. Okay. Alan likes that she doesn't shame or judge him for how talkative he is or for his personality.
She judge you.
Juan says that he's having to be more mindful and aware of his partner. Having those challenging moments like the underwater cenote photo shoot was something that pushed him in a good direction. Uh-huh. Ikeche thanks MM for being her. He has enjoyed every moment with her. And MM says that it feels good for her to be able to open up and be herself.
I'm sorry to criticize y'all, but what does being her mean? What does being her mean?
Not faking, being her authentic self.
No, it's vague.
Okay.
It means when it means when I don't have nothing. Okay. Right? When I don't have nothing to basically hold up and like basically say like she's this, she's that, she's that. I just basically say like I'm just happy that she's her. Who else she gonna be?
I get what you mean by that. Like if you're getting to know her, you should be able to name something you like about her.
And that's what I'm saying. Like what do you mean? Like she is her. Mm-hmm. She been her before you met her. Yeah. And you tell me these 4 or 5 days that y'all been together, you can't pick something from her that you can highlight, but instead you want to highlight her, she.
Okay.
Man. No. Thank you. Just in case y'all got that reference or whatever. Maybe not. Maybe y'all suburban or whatever. It is what it is.
Alan thinks that he and Madison are closest when they do activities, especially the jungle activity. Yeah. They talk about concerns about going back home. Thomas is concerned about annoying each other. Okay. Alan coughs a lot and he has gas occasionally. Okay. Michelle is excited to get into a routine to see how their schedules work out. She is a very structured person. Okay. David sees that they need their space, and he's hoping with the fact that he's always working that helps bring them together with the space that he's going to be away. They talk about what you need more or less of in the relationship, and Juan believes those answers will come in Chicago. He is very regimented when he's at home. He wants someone who is as driven as he is. Mm-hmm. Karla struggles with that because she enjoys having fun. She asks him to read the room to determine what's needed in each moment. That's another thing with Karla. You just want him to be intuitive and to just know things. I Karla is irritating me this episode because she is refusing to communicate. Yeah. When Karla wants to communicate, she does, but I think she wants a fairy tale of a relationship to where Juan just knows her and can sense her, and everything is just not all energy and butterflies. Like, we need to talk.
I agree with you. Hard stop. I have nothing to add to that. That point you hit perfect. Yeah. I agree with you 100%.
Michelle feels she needs to give herself more grace. This isn't the marriage she envisioned. Opening herself up to getting to know David is something that she can work on, and she knows that she can be moody. David sees that she's trying.
I love when you can offend somebody, be mean to someone, hurt somebody, do all these things to somebody, and then at the end of the day say, I need to give myself more grace.
I'm just like, how the hell did she get to that conclusion?
It is what
she
it
needs
is.
to give herself grace.
Let's keep going.
So you just don't care about other people at all. Like,
no,
like everything is about you and giving yourself grace.
She don't.
And not being hard on yourself. Like, what are we doing, Michelle?
She don't care, Blair.
Ikechi doesn't want to be physical until the realest of the real moments. He's concerned that their connection might get lost with daily life. MM has been moving independently and never lived with a man before, so those are some of her concerns.
Ikechi, boy, you can't run for me with those glasses. I hear what you're saying, and you're saying a whole bunch of word salad, a whole bunch of word vomit. It means nothing. I want the physical activity to happen at the realest of real moment. That's what MM deserve. The realest of like she don't need to get to the mountaintop. She need to get to the mountain top in the clouds. The realest of real moments, and we may lose our connection in daily life. As if you're not in the relationship. like that's why I'm like he speaks in third person as if he's not in it. As if he's not contributing to the connection.
As if things just happen and that his efforts don't make a difference.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Yeah.
Thomas asked Camille to wait outside for a second as they're getting back to their room. He set up some rose petals on the bed and he tells her that he kind of wanted to recreate the honeymoon night.
Yeah.
Camille sees the differences in Thomas from past partners, but it might be a good thing. She comes out in a t-shirt. She feels like she wants to continue to feel safe and wait for the sex part. He understands.
And that's why you a square. Then why pack the lingerie?
I don't know why she announced it. I'm fine with her packing it, but why are you talking about it?
She waving a carrot in front of his face.
It's weird. Yeah, it's weird.
And then when and guess what? What he did was a thoughtful thing. A very thoughtful thing in the sense of on our last night, I want to recreate basically our first night when we all come in, right? And guess what? In the back of our minds, yes, we want a reward, right? And we will accept whatever you give us. But she's been basically waving this little lingerie thing in front of his face, talking about it may come out. We may see it today. And then you come out here looking like them franchise boys with like the white tees and things of that nature and get in my bed. Get out my bed. I want to see the lingerie. Okay. You get what I'm saying? Like that's why I'm like, she's a square, bro. And my whole thing is, Camille, you and Thomas are perfect for each other, okay?
Michelle is ready to go.
Yeah, she is.
David says with their scheduling, they won't be on top of each other. And she shares that she is not ready to share a bed with him.
So if you're not ready to share a bed, then you need to sleep somewhere. Like, okay, if you're not ready to share a bed, then we need to do this in rotation. Because I slept on the couch for the whole honeymoon.
Well, the apartments have 2 bedrooms.
I understand that, right? But now I'm just want to be petty.
Okay.
Right? I want to sleep in that bed tonight, right? So, and that's what I'm like, but David keeps putting himself on the altar to basically be like, I don't want to offend. I don't want to do anything. And what he's thinking to himself is, because we work on different schedules, we won't be on top of each other. It's almost like I'm going to be in the marriage, but I'm not going to be there physically. And it's like, it's not going to work that way, David. She don't like you. And this is my only thing when it comes to Michelle, especially when we do the after party. I know we're an hour in, but make sure y'all watch the after party with us, because after watching the after party, I feel like Michelle should have been sent home. I 100% feel like she should have been sent home.
She's not feeling a connection yet. And David tells her that he's trying, but she cannot help how he feels.
Okay.
Alan is saying that it was a rough morning. He got news that a good friend of his passed away.
R.I.P.
Alan appreciated Madison's support. Matt, and she says she'll always be there to support him. I guess for the 8 weeks. I don't know if they're gonna last after that.
They're not.
But Madison enjoys her routine of working out, cooking, working. She has some fear around living with a guy, just sharing a space, and wondering if she will get annoyed by little things. He's looking forward to really getting to know each other and see if they have that chemistry.
Let's keep going.
Michelle thinks the other couples might be pushing down their hesitations, and she's starting to think that maybe she should do that and try to be less of a negative Nancy.
You can't help it. It's in you, not on you. Let's keep going.
So everyone's back in Chicago. They're at the shared apartments. Madison sits down with Alan and says that in a partner, she would prefer someone who actively takes care of themselves, someone who pays attention to the things that make them look and feel good. She would also like her partner to go to the gym. Alan shares that he does go to the gym occasionally, but he does do a lot of manual labor. He likes to work on his cars. He is a very active person, but he says he can get into the gym some more. Madison would like to see that. She is not feeling the loud outfits. She would want to look good in front of him, and she wants to impress her partner, so she's hoping for that in return. She doesn't want to dog his style, but she wants to tell him what she finds attractive. Alan reassures her that he wants to look good for her, and they will figure it out.
The only reason why I have a problem with this because Madison, I don't think anything he does will change your mind. Also, Alan, stop being a dunce in this scene. Stop saying you go to the gym. We see your body. You don't go to the gym. And then stop trying to make it seem like holding a drill is manual labor. Is the type of workout that she does. When she was at the gym with David, that's what she's talking about. She wants you to be in the gym that in some way it can cosmetically change how you look. You get what I'm saying? Not know like, oh yeah, I work out sometimes. I get a walk in on the treadmill. Stop it. You know what she meant.
Yeah. I think this is just another instance of them not allowing their partner to be who they are. If your partner is not a gym person, you telling them to get in the gym is not going to make them love the gym. It might actually make them resent you for changing who they are. I get how she's wanting to express the different things he can tweak because if your partner wears something you don't like, or maybe it's a certain perfume that you think stinks or something like that, like, sure, tell them. If they want to wear it at the end of the day, I mean, hey, I say let them do it. I mean, life's too short.
I'm about to say you are way nicer when it comes to that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But people are like, hey, I want. The only reason why I don't agree with that is because I don't think there's nothing he can do for her to find him attractive.
Gotcha.
But in most normal relationships, they do want to find their person attractive when it comes to how they look, clothes, even smell. You get what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't want to be with someone who don't smell good to me. like you get what I'm saying? I'm like, I know you like that perfume, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I get it, but I just don't think it's coming from a real and an honest place.
Yeah. I guess just to round out my thoughts, this attraction conversation, they're spending too much time on it.
Yeah, that's true.
They just need to get to learn each other a little bit more and see if the attraction grows from getting to know the person for who they are. Like, people can be beautiful in the untraditional sense if you really know their heart. And I think that Madison can't see past the physical.
Yeah.
Thomas says that this is oddly comfortable for him, just being with Camille, being in the apartment. Camille is freaking out a little bit, living with the guy for the first time.
Yeah.
He tells her not to be too nice. You can't be honest with me. He knows he can be sensitive, and that is the area that he will work on.
Wait a minute. You never lived with a guy before, Camille? What? In black culture, shacking up is like one of the top things we do. What? I'm questioning your black culture, Camille.
Now, the big thing that we see at the close of the show is Madison goes out with some friends in Chicago. It is their first night back in Chicago. Alan talks about how it would have been nice to have his wife with him their first night there. He was apparently outside in the hot tub and just enjoying his time in the apartment, but he wishes his wife was there to spend it with him.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Kind of remind you at the wedding where he wanted to go up, but she wanted to keep dancing in Chicago. And now she's back in Chicago after his friend just passed away, right? Yeah. Not too long ago. And for them to, it's like, hey, I gave you all these things to work on. Now work on them. I'm going to go. He said, I think she's at happy hour or like wherever. He don't even know where she at.
Yeah.
She's in the streets. That's where she at. Your thoughts on this episode, Blair? I thought it was a good episode.
Overall, it was good. It was a lot to discuss.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking forward to more.
Listen here. Subscribe. I need y'all to subscribe. Like. I need y'all to like. I need y'all to comment too because we like to hear what you think. And share. Don't be greedy. Let it go. Right? Also, to everybody else who do not get the after party, we will review the after party. As I always say, wait a couple of hours after this episode is released, and then maybe 3 hours after the fact, I will release the after party. Just so you, especially this week, we are an hour and 10 minutes into the episode. So I'm gonna give y'all time to watch this episode in totality, and then the after party will be out tonight, closer to 10 o'clock Eastern time. Anything else?
That's all I got.
Y'all be good.
Bye.